Our 115-year history in commercial law gives us a depth of experience and understanding of how the process works. Many of our members are considered to be experts in the field. We provide excellent education at our national convention and through frequent webinars. I invite you to stop by and talk with me about our section and about the league. Participating with our organization provides a great opportunity for both personal and professional growth. We are offering a discounted fee for our membership application for NCBJ conference attendees. Each year, the Executive Council of the Commercial Law League's Bankruptcy Section presents the Lawrence P. King Award to recognize a lawyer, judge, teacher, or legislator who exemplifies the best in scholarship, advocacy, judicial administration, or legislative activities in the field of bankruptcy. The award was designed to recognize the lifetime achievements of Professor King, which include contributing to the practice of bankruptcy law through teaching and working to elevate the profession through bankruptcy-related legislative activities. Bill Shorling, a Bankruptcy Section Executive Council member and King Award Committee Chair, will now present the Lawrence P. King Award to Ron Peterson of Jenner and Block.
Thanks, Pete. I'd like to say a couple of words about the Lawrence P. King Award and previous winners. Larry King was a professor at NYU, as many of you know. He was a friend of the Commercial Law League and a mentor to many of us. The previous recipients of the King Award are then Professor, now Senator Elizabeth Warren, the Honorable Joe Lee, Professor David Epstein, the Honorable A. Thomas Small, George Treaster, the Honorable Alexander Paskey, the Honorable Robert Ginsburg, the Honorable Eugene Weedoff, the Honorable Burton R. Lifland, the Honorable Judith K. Fitzgerald, Justice John Paul Stevens, and A.J. Crystal. This year's nominee is Ron Peterson. As Pete said, Ron is a partner at Jenner and Block and a longtime bankruptcy lawyer. In order to prepare for the presentation, I thought I'd do some research on Ron. I've known Ron a long time, and in addition to those things I knew about him, I thought I'd see, what else I could find. So, I Googled him. And I looked on his Facebook page. Ron's ribbon on his name tag is appropriate. Ron's legal career, as I said, he's had a long career at Jenner & Block, 40 years. But before that, he spent 1 year at Goldberg, Weigly, Mallon, and Gittles. I don't know what happened there, but it was over pretty quickly. Ron's a panel trustee in the Northern District of Illinois, and he has been since 1987. He's been active in bankruptcy cases, including trustee of Stotler and Company, which is one of the 10th largest commodity house in the United States. Trustee of Lancelot Investment, which is a $1.7 billion Ponzi scheme. Examiner in Robert Lund, a large real estate developer. And chairman of the creditors committee in the Petters bankruptcy, which is a $3.5 billion Ponzi scheme. A search on Westlaw comes up with Ron having been involved in 108 cases. 18 of those cases are in the circuit courts of appeal. Now, there was an interesting fact that came out when I looked at those cases, and it just struck me. 9 of them have been criticized. Ron, maybe in your remarks you could enlighten us as to whether those are the ones you won or lost. Ron's a member of the Executive Council of the Bankruptcy Section of the Commercial Law League. He's been a friend of the Commercial Law League and has done a lot for the Commercial Law League over the years. He's a director of the National Association of Bankruptcy Trustees, a member of the Subcommittee on Criminal Forfeiture and Bankruptcy of the American Bar Association Business Law Section. That subcommittee consists of leading practitioners, professors, and governmental lawyers on the government and bankruptcy side of cases involving criminal forfeiture issues, which has really become a hot topic with the Ponzi schemes and the issue as to whether assets forfeited are going to be administered in the bankruptcy case or under the DOJ's forfeiture program. Ron's active in the ABI, and he's active on the Bankruptcy Litigation Committee of the ABA Litigation Section. Ron's a frequent lecturer on continuing legal education, including for the American College of Bankruptcy, the National Association of Credit Managers, Credit Union General Counsel, DePaul University Business and Commercial Law Journal Symposium, Law Education Institute, the ABI, the Illinois Institute for Continuing Legal Education, the Illinois CPA Society, the Colorado Bar Association, the Federal Bar Association Chicago chapter. He's lectured on a wide range of subjects in addition to bankruptcy, including ethics, and he lectures in the areas of consumer and business bankruptcy as well. He's written a number of articles, including on criminal law and ranging all the way to deepening insolvency. He's the editor of the Consumer Bankruptcy Manual for the Illinois Institute of Continuing Legal Education. Ron's been a guest lecturer, including at his alma mater, Ripon College, the home of, or the birthplace of the Republican Party. I've been to Ripon, Ron. And Brigham Young University. His honors include he's a fellow of the American College of Bankruptcy. He's listed in Best Lawyers in America, Chambers Law List, and Illinois Super Lawyers. It's with great pleasure that I introduce Ron Peterson. Ron?
I'm told I have to make some remarks. First of all, I want to say I hope those were the 10 cases that I lost. It is a great honor to receive this award, not only because it comes from my peers and the members of the Commercial Law League, but because it bears the name of Professor Lawrence P. King. For those of us with gray hair, or in some cases no hair at all, Professor King was the leading intellect in the second half of the 20th century in terms of bankruptcy policy. Much of what we have today comes from the efforts of this giant in the law. About 10 years ago, I was at a reception where Professor King spoke, and he lamented about how he had worked for the passage of the Bankruptcy Code of 1978. Congressman Caldwell Butler, who was the minority Republican on the subcommittee handling this, came to him saying, "The Democrats won't listen to me." And Professor King said, "Look, you give me all the amendments you want to make, and I'll put them in 3 buckets. The first bucket are the political issues, and you and Congressman Edwards will have to work that out. The second bucket will be things that I think are really dumb, and you will agree not to present them. And the third bucket are things that I think are really reasonable, and I'll persuade Congressman Edwards to do that." Subsequently, H.R. 8200 became the Bankruptcy Reform Code of 1978, passed overwhelmingly in Congress by a bipartisan coalition, and it presented us with a fair and efficient bankruptcy system in this country. But he lamented, as he looked at the proposed amendments of 2005, that were the result of selfish interest groups, their lobbyists, and their PACs. 3 days after he gave that speech, Professor King passed away. We lost a great voice for reasonableness and for collaboration. But we as the League, the oldest insolvency organization in this country, should stand highly resolved that through our collaborative efforts, Professor King's dream of an efficient and fair bankruptcy code should exist in this country through the work we do in the courts, through the work we do with Congress. That we may be highly resolved that the bankruptcy system will be the best in the world and measure upon which others will be judged. And if we can do that, then this award will mean more to me than you can possibly imagine. In closing, I'd like to thank the members of the League, my peers, for this great honor. I'd like to thank my present and former associates for writing those outlines, articles, book chapters during their copious free time. I'd like to thank the members of my family who put up with me. And I want to thank my beautiful bride. Yesterday was our 37th anniversary, and she let me come down and stay with you guys. Thank you very much, and God bless.